the #1 team based on form.
Well, let's take a look at their starting lineup. Damien Hyatt, of course, is in goal for them. Shaquille Dyer, Andre Dice, Nicoy Christian, Romario McPherson, Chevon James, Dwayne Smith, Mark Miller, of course, the workhorse in the middle of the park, as well as Shakeen Powell. Fabian McCarthy is back in the starting lineup behind Atafoy Bygrave, who would have scored a fantastic goal last match day.
Yeah, beautiful. They do play the 4-2-3-1 system, and under Coach Harold Thomas, they have really been solid. They've lost just once in their last 5 games, and like I said, the team currently in form. So we expect them to be solid and to continue to go ahead and try and get the win today, which will push them into the top 6.
As far as Humberline is concerned, this is how they will line up. Dennis Taylor, of course, in goal. Shamar Roden, Afiba Chambers. Javon Watson is back in the starting lineup, playing in that holding midfield role. Mark Rodney, Andrew Vanzi will be playing at centre half as well. Sir J. Graham, Leonardo Gibbison, Javane Thompson, Lorenzo Lewin, and Andre Clennon in the starting lineup.
Well, Vanzi again will find himself in central defence. I wonder if Linval Lewis was available, whether or not Coach Price would be tempted to keep Vanzi in that central defensive role. But yeah, they're playing the 4-3-3 system, or 4-2-1-3, depending on how you look at it.
Hello and welcome to the UEJFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence as match day continues in the Jamaica Premier League. Dunbeholden against Humberline to the senior level as we're on the way here in Mona, and of course overcast conditions here in Kingston, Jamaica. Of course, the island recovering from the passage of the tropical storm. It did linger for a little bit longer than was expected, and there was some flooding all around Jamaica, in fact.
There's no chance of this field flooding.
Oh no. There's an early whistle on the play. It's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden. The players would be relieved with these conditions. Of course, no problems as far as the underfoot conditions are concerned, and of course it's a little bit cooler than normal.
Most definitely. I think they've suffered a lot with the heat coming off of this turf, and the fact that it's not pouring down at the moment, overcast, as we see there, the player being blocked, James, and referee right to call at an infringement, and this could be early advantage.
Mark Miller who is behind it, when we know that he's a dangerous customer as far as providing the assists is concerned, and he has players to aim for inside the box. Lofted, free header straight to the keeper. He should have done better than that. What a chance that was for Dunbeholden and Bygrave in particular. Yeah, he was free inside the area. He was
free and it got ahead of either side of the goalkeeper, and you felt he would have scored. All he did was to redirect it towards the goalkeeper, but picking aside, and most definitely would have been 1-0 to Dunbeholden. And more so if he had gone to the left of the goalkeeper, more of the goal was gaping to that side, and you felt that's a big chance miss for Dunbeholden. It's just 1 clean sheet in their last 5 games, and they know they have to get goals here, and 1 may not be enough. As you said before, Donald, this Humberland team coming off their last win and knowing that their back's against the wall and will want to certainly get 3 points today, so it's not going to be easy. So if a chance that Dunbeholden gets, you feel they'll need to convert.
Again, it's punted long to the edge of the box, and no problems for the Humberline defence. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing how they play in the latter stages of this first round. Harold Thomas, of course, has been in charge pretty early in the piece. Of course, he was an early replacement for his team on the sidelines. Experienced coach, though.
Yes, experienced coach. He came in, I think, for their for their third game. He's been in charge for about 5 games.
Yeah, he did replace Curtis Hamilton, didn't he? Andrew Price is in charge of this Humble Iron unit. Of course, his name, of course, has been equivalent to Boys Town for a number of years, Andrew Price. And here's Dunbeholden. Bygrave couldn't quite get there. Again, it's tabbed out by Humble Iron. And even though you sense that they are a little bit more confident, Humble Iron, you don't expect them to be dominating possession in these games.
Well, yeah, and the fact is that in their last 3 games, they've had 2 wins. Yeah, sandwiching a loss. So, yeah, despite the fact that Dunbeholden in their last 3 games haven't lost, it's 1 more point that they've gotten than Humberland in their last 3 games. So, despite sitting at the bottom of the table, we expect a closely contested encounter today, and even their head-to-head suggests that it will be. We see he has been pretty much good for Humberland since coming in.
Yeah, Andre Clennon.
Yeah, he has been a good focal point for them. He provides the opportunity for them to go direct, holds the ball up well, and he even provide for runners to go beyond him.
And it's lofted long. Easily handled there by Dice at the back. Going to be a throw into Humberline over on the far side. Not a bad start to the game. Dunbeholden, of course, they are yet to confirm their playoff spot. And even with a win, they wouldn't quite confirm it, but they would be in a really good position, Dunbeholden.
Yeah, it's really close in the table. Teams really jostling for that top 6 position. So much so that Ver has been sitting at the top of the table for a while, idled, but still no team has really surpassed them. So it's really a bundling up of the teams.
Shamar Roden deciding to play it all the way back to Dennis Taylor. Of course, there's Andrew Vance on the ball, who would have been the player of the game and the round last time out. Used to him playing in the holding midfield role for Humberline, but asked to do some duties at the back as Humberline coming forward. And Dice wasn't the most convincing clearance on the foul there from Clennon, barging into the back defender. And
the defender just checked his run and just initiated contact. But you talk about Vanzi, he's been immense for them this season. As we look here, he just checked his run there and just couldn't break up in time.
Yeah, Shaquille Dye was very smart on that play, wasn't he?
Yes. But Vanzi is a coach's dream. You put him anywhere and he delivers. Delivers in the middle of the park, man of the match, playing from there, getting 2 goals, and man of the match. Last time out, it was close there. Clennon is a real willing runner. Just got some knock there from goalkeeper Hyatt.
One thing about Clennon, he's going to put his body on the line.
He will. And to good effect most of the time. Yeah, and the keeper Hyatt there just pushes his arm out to ease him off. And in some quarters, some may see that as an infringement. I think Clennon was trying his best to ensure that referee Coombs saw it that way, but nothing given there.
Roden needing as much space as possible for the throw. Sends it long. Again, there's a bit of a head collision there. Another whistle on the play. Clennon uncertain as to why the whistle was blown. The yellow card is shown in the meantime to Dunbeholden's Dwayne Smith, it appears.
Yes, it appears. Must be something.
Would have been an off-the-ball incident.
Or something he said to the referee.
I think there is going to be actually a retake, and yeah, it is. So Jay Graham playing it all the way back. Dennis Taylor on it now.
You need these two teams playing pretty much similar system and looking to cancel each other out.
Oh, that's a nice run there made by Graham. Javane Thompson delivers over the head of Clennon and Just, who was under pressure all the time. Clennon was looking for something more, possibly a penalty. The referee just telling him to get up, nothing doing there. Just to confirm that the other card was shown to Dwayne Smith.
Yeah, I would have backed Clennon there to get that header. I think he misjudged the header. He just went up a bit early because he was behind the defender. Yeah, I felt he just confirmation there. Just mistimed his jump. And it was more his doing than the defender that caused him to miss that one.
This one is deflected behind for a corner kick now to Humberline. Now flexing their muscle a little bit more in the last couple of minutes. Humberline. Putting quite a few bodies inside the box. Humberline. Here's the delivery. Clennon. Couldn't do a lot with that. Oh, nice move. The shot is blocked. Still another opportunity for Humberline. Javon Watson almost created a clear-cut chance for his team at the top of the box.
Yeah, Watson there showing why he has represented at the national level before. Good touch there, good skill just to take it on the instep and just turn and got a shot off. Dunbeholden there trying to stop the counter. Well, in effect, stop the counter from Dunbeholden.
No problems there. Got into a little bit of traffic, got in some trouble there, Mark Rodney. But got the call in his favor. Here's an opportunity. It's Bygrave running into some space. Can't take the shot. It wasn't the best connection. Dragged that wide in the end.
Not the best connection, not the best decision as well. Had runners to his right. It might have been better served to provide an assist.
Yeah, Nicoy Christian was upset, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he had all right to be, because in the end the shot didn't trouble goalkeeper Taylor. We saw here, he just dragged defenders to his side and could have slipped in Christian.
But in the end, a striker will remain a striker. So
yeah, most of the times though, when you make decisions like that at a striker, it has to come out for you to really validate taking that decision. Other than that, your midfielders are always going to feel that they should get that, or the runners.
There you go. Graham was looking for the give and go. Didn't quite work on that occasion. Christian looking up. Lays it off to Mark Miller. Miller was expecting a little bit more movement. Forced to play it back to his goalkeeper. He's not happy at all with his runners.
And it's fine if that's a ploy they should employ. If you come up against a well-organized team, and then you have to pull them out and create space to play in behind. So sometimes their players take too long.
Christian goes long to the edge of the box, trying to turn. And there was an infringement on the play. It's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden in a position that could pose some problems for Humberline.
Not much in it. Not much in it at all, if anything in it. So Already 7 fouls in this one. Humberland guilty of 4 of them. But yeah, we saw earlier in the first 2 minutes of this one from the other side of the penalty box, Dunbeholden served up a ball inside there, had a free header. Humberland will want to better organize themselves on this one.
I'm not sure if there's some disagreement as to the placement of the wall, but the referees adamant that the wall needs to go back. In the meantime, Dunbeholden, they have the free kick. He's forced to kick in to a strong breeze with this effort. You expect Miller to take it, right?
Yeah, you think so.
He leaves it, and it's fired into the wall. And in the end, not a lot doing from Fabian McCarthy.
No, I think the wall did his job. The keeper on that occasion will tell you that. Dennis Taylor, he did set it up well. Javon Watson feeling the blunt of it, but you recover much easier when you would have done something well. And on that occasion, he did block the shot and cause it not to be troublesome for Humberland.
Well, no matter how hard he kicks it, it's going to be moving away from the goal. Yep, there you go. It's headed away by the Humberland defense. A strong breeze here at the center of excellence. It was always going to be difficult to control the aim was the in-swing in delivery.
Yes, I think the strong wind is also accounting for us getting a little bit more of a clearer skies, the clouds moving away from us. Still cool conditions that these players will love.
Dinked inside the box. Bygrave with the first touch wasn't the best, forced to go wide. And Humberland, they really do hustle at the back, don't they? McCarthy. Miller calling for it and gets it. Clennon doing some work at the back for his team. Throw into Dunbeholden.
And we see here Humberland out of possession, just trying to get deep, sit in low blocks, and just having a number of their players string across. They play 4, but on occasion we saw about 6 at the back.
Dunbeholden with the possession. Lovely ball inside. Couldn't quite get to the end of this one. It was a chance for Chevron James, I believe, who had made a run inside the box. Oh, they've given up in a dangerous position. Ball, well, it would have been a good ball. Went through the legs of the defender, but don't think the receiving party was good enough to even read the play, much less to get on the end of that one.
There's 2 good opportunities so far for Dunbeholden in this game. The header and that ball just across the box. And missing his kick entirely.
Chambers. Oh, that's a poor ball. But he makes up for the wrong and loses it again. Javon Watson. Miller. He was looking for a call there that was never going to go into his favor.
Yeah, Javon Watson there just lunging in, but not really getting much of the player, but enough to cause him to overrun it.
And now some attention is going to be given to Mark Miller.
Have a look here to see if Watson got any touch of him. Just a little here, just a little. Maybe he has a case there. Have another look here. Yes.
Yeah.
He has a case, Miller.
Right on his heel.
And should have been a free kick.
And you could have seen the expression on Watson's face. It was a little bit of panic there. Probably hoping that he wouldn't have been caught by the referee, so he thought.
Yeah, he was working overtime to try and win it back because he had given it away twice in succession. And just overextend himself and just got away with one there. He will want to lift his game. Had a good touch early on the top of the Dunbeholden box, got a shot off, but not showing the signs of a national player or former national player.
Oh, what a run this is. Doing well, Lewin, and then was caught. Free kick to Humberline in a dangerous spot.
A very powerful player is Lewin.
He's going to cause problems more often than not.
I heard earlier before the game a fan or calling him the Dragon. You know, so he's powerful. You expect him to just bulldoze his way.
Well, I expect one person to really take control of this situation, and that's Andrew Vanzi. But Javane Thompson can hit it. He's also there.
Vanzi has scored a free kick already this season, so you feel, as the senior man, as the man who is having a good season, so much so that he's the player to watch, I would fancy him.
So Jay Graham is also there, probably making up the numbers. Wall set up, four-man wall. Vanzi! Was there any doubt? The class act in this Humberline team has fired them in front. And Humberline, well, they are roaring 1-0.
Well, that's a spectacular free kick, superbly executed. And I spoke earlier that, yes, I would fancy him. And all the others were just there, as you said, Donald, to make up numbers or to create distractions. But if I was the goalkeeper, I would be focused on him. But focus as much as he wanted. I think it was no chance for Hyatt in goal. Never getting close to that one. And that was perfectly executed. Posted stamp, as you would call it. That one is in that top corner. And two keepers in it. I see none of them get into that one.
We have seen some free kicks in the Jamaica Premier League, and I don't know, that's right up there with the best we've seen this season.
I want to tell you, I'm not calling him Lionel Messi, but I was watching the clip when Messi scored against Liverpool in the Champions League at home, and that was like that. Alisson flying in the air and just clutching at ear, and it was the same thing that I saw with Hyatt there. You see a yellow card coming out from referee Coombs.
Yeah, to Jay Graham for that late challenge.
As you said, Donald, a lot of good quality free kicks in this Jamaican Premier League, powered by Digicel. Guthrie from Arnett, he struck a superb one as well. So
yeah, I remember that one. Fantastic stuff, really.
Yeah, I could watch that one by Vanzi over and over and over again. I tell you, I mean, the replay wasn't sufficient in terms of the amount of times she got it, but the game continues.
Was at full stretch, you know. He really was at full stretch, and he was nowhere near it.
It was definitely a perfect free kick. So 5 goals now for Andrew Vanzi, not playing as a striker, one behind Akwasa Chung.
Oh, this one is delivered inside the area. Oh, it's another big opportunity, and the opportunity is almost gone. Now it is for Dunbeholden. He had some space initially, you know, but the first touch let him down, and he couldn't quite control. 5 goals so far this season, 1 behind Akwasa Chung. He's second in the goal scoring chart, Andrew Vanzi, and for the last couple of games he's been playing at centre back.
So it's really a good performance from him all season. I understand he says he's hoping he could get a national call up. Don't know many will speak to his age or whatever, but for me, performance is what matters, and he's certainly doing the business in this league, and a utility player as well. He can show all over the park, but Dunbeholden here with their free kick. I've had a few, messed it up so far, have only themselves to blame, the fact that you're down by a goal.
Miller delivers. That's not a bad delivery at all. And then the connection wasn't the best inside the area. And, well, Dennis Taylor was able to accept that one with some relief.
Yeah, was stretching around.
Chevon James again in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think it was Mark Rodney there who missed the header. Again, he was the one who missed his shot altogether when the ball was played into the box. So 3 good opportunities for Dunbeholden. They'll feel like they're still in it, but will be aggrieved that they're behind. But if there's a goal for you to go behind too, that free kick from Vanzi is certainly one of them.
Nice movement from Dunbeholden. What can they do here? They go for the long ball, and well, Dennis Taylor basically saying that I'll have some of that.
I think Coach Price must be, we see Coach Thomas there thinking, what can he do now? I mean, his team has been creating a lot of opportunities, 3 good ones so far, still haven't been able to put it there, but Coach Price must be feeling that this league is too short. His team coming into a good form in the latter parts of it. You feel they're running out of games and his chance of making the top 6. He's doing everything here for his team, giving himself a fighting chance. It's out of his hands, you feel, because he'll have to hope for many things to go wrong with other teams, but certainly said he want to finish the season strong.
Could be a pre-season for next year.
I thought so as well. I did ask him.
Next season.
Yeah, I did ask him if he was looking to give, other players run out to get, experience in there. But yeah, he's been doing that too. So yeah, it could mean a lot for him going into next season, which isn't too far away.
Yeah. They do have quality on paper though, at the very least, and we've seen quality in their play for the last few rounds. And now they're in front, looking for a second goal here. This one delivered inside, and no problems there for Hyatt.
He'll be happy to catch that one in his hand.
It was within his reach, wasn't it?
Yes. The last one, he was nowhere near it. Not to his fault, though. He was quite athletic. Caught in mid-air, but yeah, too good. But at times when you feel the Sunderland team is not expected to win, was not expected to win against Waterhouse when they did get their first win of the season, and again against Harbourview when they defeated them 2-0 with makeshift. With that's the game where Vanzi was put in defence, and they walked away 2-0 winners in that one. And coming into today's game, Dunbeholden being the form team in terms of form, they are the #1 team in this league, and Cumberland here doing the business so far.
Vance's goal, of course, was his 25th overall in the Jamaica Premier League, and his 5th this season.
But Vanzi has been doing well. I know earlier too, Vanzi, he had to come off with some muscle injury, and that was one of the problems Coach Price had. As we look at that infringement there, he had a concern that Vanzi was doing a lot of work, and his other teammates needed to step up and assist him. And it's conditioning of the team. And we see most of the teams, including the Sunderland team, as the season we're on, we see them in better conditions because a lot of them didn't have a good pre-season.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the 3 weeks that we hear from a particular team every time. It's only 3 weeks, but yeah, they have gotten on and they've used the games. It's just that I think it's come a bit, I will think it's a little bit too late for them to get into the top 6, but
they would have been a dangerous side if they had made the play. I mean, they obviously still have a chance, albeit a slim one, but a Cumberland team in a playoff situation would have been dangerous.
Yeah, you think so, and we saw there Javon Watson there just breaking up the play of Dunbeholden, and he came into the middle of the park.
Almost breaking up Nicola Christian in the process. Yes.
But he came in with the experience, didn't seem to be in the condition as we see here, a bit late, and was Yeah, leaning at the back there, Christian. Christian feeling every ounce of that force from Watson. And that's his role in there. He's in there to really break things up. He's not very mobile, so when he gets close, he feels like he's not going to get a handle on things, then he's going to get a handle on the player.
Here's a chance, fired over the top, and wide as well.
Just mentioning that, you know, mixed with experience, few 20, 22-year-olds in this team for Humberland and really doing the business for them.
You know, we spoke about Vanzi having aspirations to play for the national team, and many supporters of the national team would think that if there is any gap in the starting lineup or in the squad, would be for a spot for holding midfield. As we take a look at the infringement on the play there, that needs to be plugged in the national setup.
Most definitely, and you can see he's now in the central defense role, and that's what you get from these versatile players. If you're a very good holding midfielder, defensive midfielder, you can slot into center.
Well, here's Graham on the ball, giving it to Vane Thompson, who will get the throw for his team. Last touch coming off Shakeen Powell. This is Roden now. Mark Rodney collects. And the line not afraid to go forward. Lewin doing a couple of dance movements.
He's the dragon, they say. So he's huffing and puffing, then spitting out some fire just now.
Well, they're dragons and they're dragons.
But just to close off on the Vanzi national setup, at least a call-up, you feel. At least a call-up. But yeah, Dunbeholden, they're leading on the possession start, 54-46. But I think Umberland, as you were mentioning earlier, Donald, won't mind not having the ball. They're a team that plays well without the ball.
Looking for Bygrave. Did he get a touch on that one?
It looks that way. For a moment, I felt he was going to dink a goalkeeper, Taylor.
He didn't look too perturbed there, Taylor, as he collected that one. But obviously he was late if Bygrave got there ahead of him.
I think Bygrave just pulled out at the end, or he felt Taylor got very close. But yeah, looks a close call.
Graham loses it out. Mark Miller. Oh, that's a nice ball. But just couldn't evade his block, as McCarthy was the one who teed him up. Well, he skips from one, Javane Thompson. We know he can do that. Lewin, aka Dragon, over on the right hand side, has some space to work with. Cuts inside, and again trying to get by a third. It didn't work.
I think Christian is really getting frustrated here. He's been targeted by this Humberland team. There's a few times, and it's their tactics, and you give them credit for that. They feel he's the player, and we know what he can do if given time and space.
McCarthy with time and space goes to the right. Miller. Smith. Lovely ball through. Miller! Wonderful movement by Humberland, as the Humberland defense was torn apart. Dunbeholden, well, they have the equalizer now, and it's 1-1.
But Miller was turning provider early in the game, but didn't have the finish at the end of it. And this time, he got good service, and once it came through, he made no mistake. It seems like it was a tight angle, but Taylor, you felt, help him make his mind up, and that you get with goalkeepers once they come early. Help him to make his mind up. You felt that he come across just off his line there, then Miller would have a lot more to think about. But once he came, the striker, or the attacking player, found it easy to make his mind up, and through the legs it was always going to be difficult, always difficult for goalkeepers to stop that one. But based on the run of play, I don't think it's more than what Dunbeholden deserve. They have gotten a few chances early, have to put them away, and it's level terms now for them.
But consider the pass from Dwayne Smith, though.
It was a beautiful pass. It just opened up the Umberland defence, would have been so solid and been having 5 and 6 at the back when they're out of possession on that occasion. Didn't get the chance to organise themselves out, and that's what you get when passes are made early, and that came early, and that just opened up the defence. And the coach Thomas didn't look worried even when he went down a goal, because he saw enough to think his team was still in it. And Miller getting that equalising goal.
We saw those type of goals last season, especially as Bygrave gets some attention, and they do play some attractive football, this Dunbeholden team, and that's right out of their playbook as well. The pass from Dwayne Smith to Mark Miller was absolutely superb, and they deserve to get that equaliser.
Yeah, so often we look at the finish, as you rightly said, Donald, but the pass was so superb, and this is what Umberland have been trying to stop Christian from doing deep. At this occasion, they had somebody else that they didn't pick up, and that cost them as well.
Let's take a look at the last bit of play there. Bygrave appears to be okay. Mark Miller on the score sheet for the first time this season for Dunbeholden.
It's important that they got back into this game pretty quickly, because like I said, they're really in a very, just on the outskirt of the top 6, and that's Dunbeholden, and a win for them today takes them in it, so that's enough motivation for them. Lost today and they would feel like a really missed opportunity. It's a long way to go. They still could lose it, but they really helped themselves by getting level.
They wouldn't want to be victims of this resurgent Umberland team, but right now they're back on level pegging. Oh, that's a nice touch from Bygrave. Bygrave heading to the byline, needs some support, and oh, that wasn't the best pass.
Yeah, just a little behind Shakeen Powell there, who just went a bit early, looking for the cutback, and good intention from him, just didn't have the runners.
Here's Powell, sends it out wide and left. Christian over the top, should have kept it down, should have been on target, and he knows it, Nicoy Christian. The only time that he has had a little bit of space to work with, Nicoy Christian, and even he knows that he should have done better there.
Yeah, he's a good technical player. You would have expected him to at least work Taylor. Just searching for the shot, going center of the goal to try and get more of the goal to aim at. In the end, he went over it and didn't trouble Taylor.
We have a good game on our hands, folks. 2 goals so far in this first half. And there's another whistle on the play, and the ball may need to be changed.
And based on the current standing in this game, it's 1-1. We've seen on 5 previous occasions where these two teams met, there were 4 drawn game, so it's right up the alley where when these two teams meet. The one win was for Umberland, 2-1, so it's always close between these two teams.
One thing about these two teams, they have some real fanatics as followers. Their fan base, absolutely electric. Dunbeholden, of course, would have been based at the Spanish Town Prison Oval, and I mean, who doesn't like going to Effortville when it's jam-packed, supporting Umberland?
I've been there a few times, and trust me, when I was there, jam-packed, and I was coaching Holland United. We were in the All-Ireland knockout, and I was drawn against Umberland, so I went down to have a look at them. It was. I was happy that I wasn't going to play them at that park. They had to come to Trelawney we lost 1-0 on the day, but yeah, their fans are quite electric.
Not the best clearance on that occasion, but Watson couldn't control the bouncing ball, and then he came in on the challenge. He did make connection with the ball, I felt, but the follow-through was always going to be the problem as he went in on Chevon James. And that's Watson arguing his point that he did make connection with the ball. I felt so too, but the follow-through was always going to be the problem.
Yeah, and the fact is he got away with one. If I was him, I'd just walk away and go, because, I mean, yeah, he definitely got some of James.
Ball is given up, and good read on that occasion to come away with the interception because his team was in some trouble. Fancy at the back doing the work. Lewin trying to get by his marker. Takes a throw quickly. Haven't seen a lot of Clennon in recent times.
I was about to say that, yeah, and that's a part of maybe one of the problem with Dunbeholden. Normally when they're doing well, they bring him into the game a lot and they go direct a lot. They haven't done that. You know, they normally mix up their play in terms of variation in how they attack. We've seen a lot more looking to build from the back and play through the middle. But I think their element of surprise has been going to Clennon a few times, having him hold it up, play that flick on for the runners.
Dunbeholden, they've been a little bit careless in the last couple of minutes, and here they are, Humble Lion trying to make use of another opportunity, and legs flying everywhere, and a card will come out, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's for...
Is it for Lewin?
Lewin?
Yeah, I think it's for Lewin actually, who came in with all arms and legs on the challenge.
I think he just had a lashing out there. Don't know why. He felt he was probably just trying to... He didn't like what was done to his teammate. He felt he just had to defend him.
Not the best way to defend in a football game, I suggest.
No, not smart at all. He needed to, if he wanted to do something, do it. The referee wasn't paying full attention to the area. He has enough strength to be able to bully people off the ball, but not in that means.
Powell. McPherson. Romario McPherson. Still McPherson. Now finding Dwayne Smith. Another delightful ball and a wonderful goal again. Deja vu. Smith to Miller. Goal number 2. Dunbeholden over Humble Lion.
And you saw it coming. I said, got scrappy Dunbeholden. They've been trying to build from the back, not going direct. But we see here from Dunbeholden really getting into their stride. That's their game passing. And again, as you say, deja vu, the two linking up. And the pass again, just opening up the defense for Humble Lion. And it was on the blind side of the defense that Miller found himself. A decent run, and that's what you want to do as a striker. Just surprise the defender, and again to the legs of Taylor. And that was all she wrote for that one. And tell them all, it must have been on his digital phone there, spreading the news that he got his second goal.
I tell you what, sometimes we underestimate assists in football matches, but the last 2 assists in this game from Dwayne Smith to Mark Miller were gems.
They were on a plate, and if you notice, Miller didn't break his stride in any of those assists given to him. He just ran onto it and just finished. The first one, we felt Taylor helped him to make his mind up, but that speaks to the quality of a true ball, when the unrushing player or the finishing player doesn't even break his stride, just run onto it, and this first touch is a finish.
Lewin bursting through, but not quite all the way through. McCarthy feeding Bygrave, who couldn't quite control, so it's in the possession of Humberline again, temporarily, albeit.
I think one of the problems for Humberland, which I've been saying, they choose not to go direct and they play out of the back and have players coming out, and they're leaving themselves open. When they do go direct, sometimes then they have more players behind the ball on the 2 occasions, not taking anything away from the passes, but the lanes were open up for those passes to be made. And early in the game, they weren't allowing that. They had a lot of numbers behind, 5 and at times at the back.
Here's Humberline and Lewin. Clennon. Clennon went down and took down the defender with him. The referee continuing with the play. Oh, he's lost it in a dangerous area. Clennon trying to stay on his feet. The referee pulled up. And he may need some attention.
Yeah, I thought he was at one point simulating that it was a dive, and I thought that was.
That's exactly. I thought he was going for the dramatic.
Yes.
Right. That's what he was doing. He was diving.
But to bear in mind, he's the referee that did the game, the first game, Humberline, Harbourview against Malines, and is in this one because referee Huddett Hamilton was not here on time to do this one. So I suspect condition catching up with him.
I'm still interested in what the call is, though.
Yeah, we still are.
But is it still a free kick? But he just went down, probably felt something.
Yeah,
he didn't show any indication as to where he felt whatever he felt. But he's getting some attention now.
Looks like the calf muscle. Referee Coombs here. I don't know if the
maybe a bit of cramp.
Possibly. But like I said, maybe it's just the fact that he did the game before.
And this game has been going from one end to the next, to be fair. So he's been doing a lot of running. I think it's going to be I think it should be a free kick. It may be a free kick.
Possibly the same setup from the first game, because I see assistant referee Carvalho on the near side here. He did the first game as well. And maybe he just blew the whistle to stop the game because he felt something.
No, I think it was actually sudden. He blew the whistle first and then he felt something. There's Odette Hamilton,
who may be looking to take over, so maybe we have a substitution in the referee department. Or maybe he'll just carry to the halftime, because we're pretty much there, and we will see Odette Hamilton in the second half. I'm pretty sure that might be the case.
Yeah, they may have to share notes and such, just so that they're on the same level, just to find out players booked and all the other information. Just a minute to be added on. Rodney to Lewin. Rodney continues his run. Lewin, there was never going to be a 50% chance of him passing it back to Rodney. He takes the throw himself. This is Gibson. Delivers inside and no problems there. And that's it. That's the end of the first half. And it's been an interesting first half. Miller with a couple of goals as Dunbeholden came from behind after Humberline went in front, thanks to Andrew Vanzi. Welcome back to the UEJFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence as the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital, continues this afternoon. Cool conditions here and we're looking at a really good game between Dunbeholden and Humble Lion. And Dunbeholden with a 2-1 advantage heading into the second half. And we're just about ready to get the second half underway.
What'd be interesting to see is how they approach it too. They know a win takes them into 5th position as well, so will they sit in?
Ready, Panther, ready.
So we're underway here for the start of the second half. Humble Lion with the possession, trailing by 2-1. They're going to be kicking into a very strong breeze for this second half. Humble Lion. Christian. It's going to be a free kick to Humble Lion.
It's Dunbeholden's free kick, I think.
Dunbeholden, rather.
Referee Hamilton apologizes and said it is for Dunbeholden. So sometimes when you tell your players don't argue, the decision is made, it's not going to change. Christian just proved us wrong with that. Referee Hamilton did change the decision. Maybe she got it wrong in the first place.
Here's Christian, having changed the referee's mind, going on a little run. Powell down with it. Oh, nice. Dwayne Smith trying to play it out wide and right to Mark Miller once more. James to Miller, trying to find back James. Oh, nicely done. He decides to go for goal though, Chevron James. I don't think that was the best option available.
Should have done what he has been doing all game long, providing the assist. Or his team providing the assist. Maybe he should have followed suit and done that on that occasion. It was a very tight angle for him to try and get that on goal. He's never going to beat.
And if you're going to do that, I suggest that you fire it in just in case the keeper spills it. And then there's a rebound and offer. Well, it was a tame shot in the end.
It was a tame shot. You have to try and do him with the eyes like you're going for the far post and really power your way to the near post. Low down, trying to see if you could surprise him.
He has 2 goals to his name, and it seems as if he's never pleased, Mark Miller. The look on his face.
He sets high standards.
There he is. Safety first from Mark Rodney.
I think his teammate was shouting time, but he didn't compute there and just went for safety. But had a lot of time really and should have really just kept possession.
There's a delivery inside the area, not handled properly. No, that was handled by Grave. And the referee spotting that one. Free kick to Humble Lion in their own penalty area.
It's been a feature for Humble Lion though throughout this game is that they really have not handled the set pieces very well. They scored a beautiful one themselves, but every time the ball comes into the box, you get the feeling Dunbeholden has a chance. By Grave. Could not disguise that. Didn't feel he knew much about that handball.
Christian. Nicely done, Nicoy Christian. Trying to loft that one over the top. Bygrave was making that run. Does well to win it back, Nicoy Christian. Not the best ball from him, and he knows it. It was out of the reach of Dwayne Smith.
Yeah,
there's a foul on the play now.
Yeah, not having his usual impact on the game, Christian. I think roughed up early in the game. Probably threw him off his game, but really have not been able to impose himself on this one. And definitely Clennon being roughed up there.
Clennon attacking that one, didn't quite time his jump to perfection. Last touch of Clennon according to referee Hamilton. Not sure if Humberline is a team that's going to bring the game to Dunbeholden, even though Dunbeholden they have the lead. Game just meandering along in the early stages of this second half.
And that's playing right into Dunbeholden hands. They're the ones leading this one.
Too much on it from Christian, seeking to find Mark Miller.
You wonder if it's just a bit too much for this Humberline team, who would have come into this game on so much of a... They know that their season was petering out to an end in terms of being able to make that top six. They know the chance was slim. They went ahead and they looked lively, but...
Oh, that's a dangerous ball. That's just managed to be cleared outside of the box.
To coach, you always say, don't play across that back line, don't play across that back line. And just then, Bland almost caught out.
And they're caught out now. Ball played inside. It's an opportunity straight to the keeper. And again, not a lot of power in that shot from Mark Miller, who's seeking to complete his hat-trick on that occasion. It's another big chance.
Yes, it was. Bygrave was on the far side, looking to be set up.
Here's Christian on the ball. Powell. Ball played out wide. Wasn't the best first touch, wasn't it?
Nor second.
Likes to make those runs on the left-hand side, but he was covered by Mark Rodney all the way. Was young Romario McPherson, formerly of Bridgeport High, the left back of Dunbeholden. Ron Richards is warming up for Humberline. Not sure if that worked.
Always the best thing to be doing at this time in terms of with all that is happening. We just needed to wash it out.
Rodney.
So they're further up the field, and we saw that that ball was pinned into Clennon, who headed it down for a teammate, and they retained possession further up the park.
Watson. Roden. And he's lost it. So Jay Graham.
A really poor first touch.
Bygrave. Siobhan James. Now Nicoy Christian. McPherson comes into play now. Back to Christian. James should have done better there. Ball over the top, looking for Andre Clennon, who has the strength to hold off his defender. He's looking for a call to go in his favor. it didn't come.
I just feel Clennon can stay on his feet a lot more. He has good strength, but Same in the first half, we saw him going down too easy on a few occasions. I felt he's favoured to win the ball if he stays on his feet a lot more.
Christian. Christian doing well to win the ball back. Then he lost it once more after losing out initially. And there's a whistle on the play. Free kick taken quickly. Keeper is off the line and should collect. Damien Hyatt there.
I think a bit early to try and use up time. There was a shove from the Dunbeholden attacker into the back of a defender. Then collided with Hyatt, but I think it was much to send him to the ground. You could see that Hyatt going down. I think he was just looking to eat up some time.
This is Mark Rodney. So Jay Graham. Not a lot of numbers forward for Dunbeholden, so he's forced to play it back. Rodney delivers inside the area. Wasn't a bad looking cross, but to be fair, Clennon couldn't do a lot with it. Jibison. Roden. Thompson back to Roden. Now with Watson. Thompson. Watson. Lewin gets the corner.
Yeah, his initial touch was always taking him wide. And he only left himself with one option, which would have been to get a ball crossed into the box.
McPherson has done relatively well in halting the progress of one Lorenzo Lewin. As a change is going to be made now. So Jay Graham is coming off. Ron Richards is coming on. Javane Thompson is also coming off. Kevon Reed comes on. Delivered inside, and it's just wide of the mark.
Yeah, it was a good attempt there. It was difficult because just gone ahead of the ball to kick around his hip. Can't go that far. And
Was
so
it Kevin Reed who just came on?
Yes, almost a golden touch. No.
Oh, it was
Chambers.
It was Chambers. Well, it was another defender. I think Vanzi has now been deployed in the middle of the park for Dunbeholden with that change.
Yes, I think right on the button about almost 15 minutes. We said about 10-15 minutes you'll give it that time, and if you don't get that goal, then for sure make that switch. I think Coach Price was right on the money there. Make the change. Maybe he'll look to also go with 3 at the back.
Looking for the outlet in Clennon. Richards. Clennon kept it in play for his opponent. Clennon. Whistle on the play. Free kick goes to Dunbeholden.
They have been going to Clennon recently, and but he needs to back that up because his touches have let him down the last few times. If he was able to just grab a hold of it, then Humberland would have broken the lines and would have progressed further up the pitch, going a bit more direct. Maybe just getting tired.
Maybe. Jibison. Richards. Jibison. Tackled. Christian. Smith. McPherson. Looking to tee up Christian.
And again, it was Vanzi who came in to intercept.
It was Smithy was trying to tee up, in fact, and Lewin goes on a run. Oh, that's magnificently done. And then the barge in the back from Fabian McCarthy.
Well, he's been all over the park since the start of this game. You can't fault him on effort. And all that he's put in here, really wearing this club on his sleeve here, really putting in a lot of work. Being smart about it too, just check and make sure he got the contact. And once he felt it, he went down, giving his team a chance here to overload in the box. And based on the current run of play, set pieces may be the best means for Humberland to get back into this one.
And it's Vanzi who's set to deliver. Hi, just making sure that the wall is set up properly. It's a two-man wall at his disposal. McCarthy and Christian inside it. But Vanzi to deliver. He has 6 to aim for inside the box. Delivers. So not one of them.
There's too much on that one. Normally you can count on him for his delivery.
Or probably they weren't on the same wavelength. Nobody was reading that play.
No one was running at the back post,
yeah,
for sure. So yeah, he should have just looked up, and in a situation like this, looking for it, maybe he just needed to put it in that danger zone and just encourage one of his players to get on the end of it.
Richards challenged by Christian. Christian. Richards won't be able to get there. I think more rain may be coming our way, you know.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah, there it is in the background. And the breeze is taking it right to where this venue is. Miller. Oh, that was a good recovery over on the far side there.
There's Roden.
Yep. Shamar Roden.
He's been steady pretty much all season for Humberland.
Lewin. Can't get by McPherson on this occasion.
It's not a lack of trying for Lewin. Just doesn't have, he's not blessed with an abundance of skills.
Nicoy Christian. Keeper is off his line and gets there. Ahead of Miller. Vanzi. They're doing well.
They're doing well. Just recovering there again from Clennon. And what we've seen is a shape change from Humberland. Look to go on with a 3-2-4-1.
Here's Lewin again. Delivers that one early. Clennon trying to beat his marker, gets it back. The touch was the best, but Richards has it now. It's Richards! It's wide of the mark. Was there a deflection on it? There was. It's a corner kick for Humberland.
Yeah, I don't think it was going to trouble Hyatt in goal nonetheless, but it was a good move from Humberland. Again at the heart of it, Lewin. And this time, Clennon did much better. Almost ran away from him. Richards got onto it, was looking for the shot, but was always under pressure and was never going to be able to execute as he would have desired. As you see here, yeah, the deflection took it away. Was aiming for the bottom corner.
Well, the rain has almost arrived here. Across to our right, and it will be sweeping across the venue shortly as Humberland trying to press. Couple of players colliding. Lovely ball to Richards, and he'll get another corner kick for his team.
Yeah, good ball to Richards. Just I would feel just a little tad too much weight on it, and Richards sort of struggled to get around it, but good defense splitting pass. Humberland leading on the corner count 5-2, but they certainly would want to get a second goal from this one.
Change is happening, and it's going to be Dwayne Smith who is coming off for Dunbeholden.
And he would have done his work, Dwayne. 2 very good assists.
Zakia Wilkes coming on. That wasn't the best delivery. There's a whistle now on the play, and Hyatt was fouled. It'll be a free kick.
That was a clear foul for Hyatt, on Hyatt. This time I don't think he's just down wasting time, but I think Humberland just being wasteful with their set pieces. You feel, as I was saying earlier, based on the run of play, should try and make these set pieces count. I think good intention there with that ball inside. The player was a bit late to read that one. Needed to run across the defender. That was Phoebe Chambers, who was late. It was a good ball inside, right in the danger zone, just inviting a player to get on the end of it. But the set pieces, you feel, are their best chance of getting back on level terms.
Jamaica still experiencing the remnants of the thunderstorm, and the rain is back, and the strong wind is also back.
Thought earlier that it went, but I think still have parts of that storm lingering. Game really at a delicate point here now. It's in the 70th minute. Still a lot of time in this one. Still a lot of time that Humberland can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And you get to feel that Dunbeholden need another goal.
Well, here's Humberland trying to press forward. It's Lewin, who I suppose will be even more tricky in these conditions to handle.
As both for the players, outfield players and the goalkeepers, wouldn't be surprised to see players looking to shoot from distance.
Would it skid as it would on normal grass, this turf?
You still expect it to move across it much more crispy with the water on it. Probably not as it would on normal grass. Because of the rubber, you get a lot more friction from rubber as opposed to normal grass. Donald, you called it, and it is here in its full flow.
Yeah, we now officially can't even see the mountains. Across to our right. And it's going to be very difficult for the players out there. But the game continues.
Could make for a scrappy final 19 or so minutes and could play in the hands of Humberland.
Shot coming from distance and the save is made. Had to move quickly to his left, Dennis Taylor.
Yeah, once the rain came, we expected that the players are going to be thinking that way, thinking that the goalkeepers are going to have a lot of difficulties effecting their techniques. Taylor there had to be smart, going down to parry that one around his near post.
It did come from Christian.
And it
there
was
a bit of
sneaking in.
Yep.
It was a smart save.
Corner kick delivered inside, headed away. Richards couldn't quite gather for Humberland. Oh, well, there was a 2-footed challenge there.
I think he was expecting a challenge from Road and it never came. So he was trying to match what he felt was going to come.
Close enough. Well, at least the players don't have to worry about the underfoot conditions.
Maybe not with heat, but... And yeah, on a normal grass turf, yeah, maybe they'll be concerned with softening of the earth and slippage and stuff like that. You don't mind playing in the rain, but I just feel this is a little too much for their liking.
Ball delivered inside, and it's over the top eventually.
Again, it was James who got a few opportunities in the first half. Yeah. Siobhan James again. He could have had a hat-trick. He's had a hat-trick of misses. He said won't be surprised if the quality falls a bit.
Well, Christian on the ball. Gets it back. Trying to play that 1-2. Didn't quite work out for him and his team.
It's absolutely pouring here. We saw on our referee Adet Hamilton how his jersey just pinned to her body because of the effect of the downpour here.
Well, McPherson on the ball for Dunbeholden. Plays inside, and the shot charged down, coming in from Wilkes on that occasion. McPherson bundled out the ball by Lewin. That's a battle that we liked to watch.
He must be the most fouled player in this game, Lewin.
Clennon almost won it back there for Humberline.
The problem for Humberline in trying to get back into this one is that they can't really get a hold of the football for any length of time. They just keep turning it over. Can't really have any sustained possession and pressure on this Dunbeholden team.
Miller playing it inside, and it's Powell who finds a side netting. The rain easing up just a little bit here as we take a look at Powell's effort.
Yeah, they were contending it should have been a corner, but it was outside before goalkeeper Taylor got his hands to it. So there's a sign of it. Donald just skid off the turf. That pass coming over, so fans are just apologizing, but I think it had to do somewhat with the greasy surface.
Watson losing it to McCarthy. Late challenge on Christian.
Yeah, Vanzi not liking it, and Adet also not liking his response. And so Vanzi gets a yellow card, not so much for the challenge, but his response to the call made by referee Adet Hamilton.
Vanzi gets a call on this occasion. Didn't like the challenge at all, did Andrew Vanzi on that occasion. Roden delivers. And free kick to Dunbeholden in their own penalty area. So a little more than 10 minutes to go with time added on for stoppages. Dunbeholden still leading by 2-1. Both goals coming from Mark Miller. There he is on the ball now. McCarthy Just gave it up. Watson. Richards is making a run. Rodney now. Richards gets away from McPherson. Humberline again pressing forward, and Dunbeholden with numbers at the back. Challenge there on Christian.
My job is to talk to you.
Seems as if more substitutions will be made by both teams. Bygrave is coming off. Ron D. Smith is coming on. Nicoy Christian was asked to change his boots. Shamari Dallas now on for Renato Jibison.
I knew he started the game in a turf, just a flat footwear, so I guess when the downpour came, he chose to change it. But this, I think, is the third time I've seen referee Hamilton spotting players in those metal pegs.
Smith, Christian trying to find Miller. It was Smith on that occasion. There's Christian just coming back on the park, having changed his boots. Second half not quite living up to the billing of the first.
No, you expected a response from Humberline. It never seemed to materialize at any point in the second half, and the few opportunities they got from set pieces, which you feel if you're not going to be playing at a high tempo, putting the team under pressure, then you would make use of your set pieces.
Dunbeholden in third as it stands. So not quite comfortable, but you can see that they're just a point behind the leaders. Veer.
So close the table is, you know, they jump from what, 7 to 3rd or 8 to 3rd?
Yep, 7 to 3rd. This one, wide of the mark from Miller.
Yeah, so, yeah, table very close. This game still very close. And when you can go from 8 to 3rd with a win, it tells a lot about how close the table is. And as you alluded to earlier, Donald, still with this win, if they go on to complete it, still would not secure their place in the top 6.
But they'll certainly be in a better position than Humber Lion, who, if the scoreline remains as it is, or even if it's a draw, they'll be out of the playoff running.
Yeah, their hopes were really hanging by a very thin here, and this result here and their performance really did not suggest that they would have been able to strengthen their case.
Shot is wide of the mark, coming from distance. Hyatt wasn't too pleased with the market on that occasion. Mark Miller would be the leading contender for the man of the match, you would think.
Most definitely. I know he got 2 beautiful passes from Smith, and Smith really played his role in Dunbeholden, seemingly getting 3 points here, but definitely Miller. He still had work to do despite the crispness and the effectiveness of the pass. Still had to finish.
Rodney being pulled back, free kick to Humber Lion. Can they make something out of this? Richards is going to be the provider for this one. Five players inside the box. Make that 6 now with Rodney making his way. Richards just waiting on referee Hamilton to blow the whistle. Time come now. Inside the area. Still a chance. It's over the top. It's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah,
well, the flag has gone off for offside. And it was offside against Afiba Chambers.
Yeah, I don't think Chambers was looking to set anyone up. He was just trying to swivel and just fire a shot at goal in hope. But it's never going to trouble Hyatt. Never got around it enough.
Last few minutes for Humber Lion to try anything. Lewin now over on that far side. Roden sends it long. It's a chance here. And was it handball against Watson?
Yeah, it was. He was looking to line up a shot.
Powell. Dyer. McCarthy. Powell. Smith inside the box that could not convert. Christian.
One thing you can say, this Humberland team, they continue to try and fight there in terms of effort. You can't fault them on that. Yes, you would have wanted to see them have a real go at it in the second half. You see Christian here join the attention of Lewin, and Lewin, he has led the way in terms of the effort he has put in for Humberland. You can see him holding there, stretching, and not surprising that he's a bit cramped.
I'm not taking any chances there. 3 minutes of stoppages to be played. 2.5 minutes of that time remaining. Rodney swinging this one inside, and Clennon was trying to tee up Dallas, but Hyatt saw it all the way.
It's really drifting away here for Humberland, and their season pretty much effectively coming to an end despite them having a game to go. But with this result confirming that their top 6 hopes are over, so their hopes, rather, their season coming to an end in terms of being able to win it.
Christian, late challenge coming in on him. Yep. He's put in another shift to Corey Christian, one of the standout players for Dunbeholden.
Yeah, he got roughed up early in the game. He was the target player for Humberland. He was the player that they wanted to really disrupt his rhythm, because he allows this Dunbeholden team to tick. They did that for pretty much the good parts of the first half, but there were other players like Smith and Miller that came to the fore.
They could get a third here, but he just lost his footing there. Miller, who he was looking for the hat trick as well. It was a nice turn inside the area. That's it for this one. Dunbeholden walking away with the 3 points here. Humberland season in effect over, unable to make it through to the playoffs. Dunbeholden really put in a shift and a half, and they were rewarded with a couple of goals from Mark Miller. Andrew Price, the coach of Humberland, has a lot to think about. Eyes off on the prize for this season. They seek to prepare for the next. Andrew Vancy with a sensational free kick in the first half was the highlight for Humberland in this one. Harold Thomas is most pleased with his team, which has walked away with all the marbles, with all the points in this encounter. And Humberland, they have a lot to think about, if not to roar about. After 90 minutes, Dunbeholden 2, Humberland 1.